Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you have ever been in a personal injury accident or are curious about the process, you are probably wondering how long does a personal injury case take in New York? Well, that's exactly where going to break down today. It's a question we get asked all the time. The short answer is it varies, but stick with me because we are going to look at the factors that affect the timeline of a personal injury case and what you can expect at each stage. So now introduction to personal injury case. Now before we dive into the timeline, let's take a moment to talk about what a personal injury case typically occurs when someone is injured due to someone else's negligence or wrongful actions. This can happen in car accidents, slip and falls, medical malpractice, and more. If you decide to pursue a lawsuit, you will work with a personal injury lawyer to help you recover compensation for your injuries. Personal injury case can take different amount of time depending on complexity of the case, the severity of the injuries, and the willingness of the parties involved in the to settle. Some cases are resolved in a matter of months, while others can take years. So how do we figure out how long a case will take? In this video, we will discuss these topics. Section 1, factors affecting the timeline. Section 2, typical timeline of a personal injury case in New York. Section 3, how to speed up your personal injury case. In Section 4, conclusion and summary. Section 1, factors affecting the timeline. There are several factors that determine how long a personal injury case will take in New York. Let's break down these key factors. First, severity of injuries. First, the severity of the injuries plays a huge role. If your injuries are minor, like a sprained ankle or a small cut, the case may be wrapped up fairly quickly. However, if you have suffered significant injuries like broken bones, head trauma, or a spinal cord injuries, the process will likely take longer. That's because you will need time to heal and your doctor will need time to assess the full extent of your injuries. Additionally, your medical treatment will need to be completed and your doctor will need to provide a clear report on your prognosis. All of this information will help determine the amount of compensation you are entitled to. So the process naturally takes more time with more serious injuries. And second, negotiation and settlement. One of the most important factors in determining how long a personal injury case takes is whether or not the case is settled before it goes to trial. Many personal injury cases in New York are settled out of the court after negotiation between the insurance company and your lawyer. Negotiations can take weeks or months depending on how quickly the parties can agree on a settlement. The defendant insurance company will try to offer a settlement to avoid a lengthy court battle. However, your lawyer will negotiate to ensure that the offer reflects the true level value of your case. If both sides come to an agreement, the case may be resolved fairly quickly. And third, insurance company involvement. Now, insurance company play a major role in personal injury case. In New York, the insurance company of both parties usually get involved early on. The insurance company for the at fault party will assess the situation and they may make an initial settlement offer. If the offer is too low or if the insurance company disputes your claim, it could take longer to reach a resolution. If the insurance company takes its feet or refuses to pay a fair settlement, the case may take longer. Your lawyer may have to take legal action to force the insurance company to pay. This can add months to the process. And fourth, backlog. Another key factor is the backlog in the court system. If your case does go to trial, it takes a while to get a court date depending on the court schedule and how busy they are. New York court system can have significant delays, especially in cities like New York City. The trial itself could also take a few weeks or even months depending on the complexity of the case. Delays are common in court system, and this can push back the entire timeline of how your case, especially if you are dealing with multiple parties and witness. Fifth, complexity of the case. Finally, the complexity of the case can affect how long it takes. If your case involves multiple defendants, expert witness, or complex medical conditions, it would take longer to gather evidence and build a strong case. A simple slip and fall might take a few months, while a multi-car accident with severe injuries would take a year or more. Typical timeline of a personal injury case in New York. So now that we have covered the factors that affect the timeline, let's break down a typical timeline of a personal injury case in New York. This will give you a better idea of what to expect. First, initial conclusion. 1 week to 1 month. The first step is the initial conclusion with a personal injury lawyer. This typically happens within the first few weeks after the accident. During this meeting, your lawyer will evaluate your case, go over the details, and determine whether it's worth pursuing a claim. If they take on your case, they will start investigating. Second, investigation and evidence gathering. 1 to 3 months. Once your lawyer takes on the case, they will begin investigating the accident. This includes collecting evidence such as accident report, medical reports, and witness statements and surveillance footage. The investigation phase usually takes a few months depending on how complex the case is. And third, medical treatment and evaluation, 3 to 6 months. During this time, you will also be receiving medical treatment for your injuries. The full extent of your injuries might not be clear right away, so your lawyer will wait until your condition stabilizes to assess how much compensation you may be entitled to. This case could take several months, especially if your injuries require long-term rehabilitation. And fourth, negotiate 3 to 6 months. When all the evidence is gathered and your injuries are evaluated, your lawyer will begin negotiating with the insurance company. This can take anywhere from a few weeks to several months, depending on how willing the insurance company is to settle. And fifth, filing a lawsuit, 1 to 2 months. If negotiation don't work out, your lawyer may decide to file a lawsuit. Filing a lawsuit typically adds a few months to the timeline, as the court needs to process that paperwork and schedule hearing. And 6, discovery phase, 3 to 6 months. Once the lawsuit is filed, the discovery phase begins. This is where both sides exchange evidence, take depositions, and gather information. This process can last several months depending on the complexity of the case. And 7, trial, 6 months to 2 years. If the case goes to trial, it can take anywhere from several months to a couple of years before it's resolved. Trials themselves can last from a few days to several weeks depending on the complexity of the case. And the final settlement or verdict. Once the trial concludes, a settlement or verdict is reached. If you win your case, it can take several months to receive your compensation, as a defendant may appeal or delay payment. If you settle, you might receive your compensation sooner. How to speed up your personal injury case, section 3. So now, some of you might be wondering, can I speed up the process? Well, some factors are beyond your control. There are steps you can take to help your case move along more quickly. First, seek immediate medical attention after the accident. This helps not only your health but also provides clear documentation of your injuries for your case. Second, gather as much evidence as possible, like photos, witness statement, and police reports. The more information your lawyer has, the faster they can proceed with the case. And third, stay in the close contact with your lawyer. Respond quickly to any request for information and be proactive about scheduling appointments or meetings. And lastly, be prepared for negotiations. If you are ready to negotiate a settlement quickly, it can help avoid delays and resolve the case sooner. So, to wrap things up, yeah, this is conclusion and summary. So to wrap things up, there's no one size fits all answer to how long a personal injury case will take in New York. It can range anywhere from a few months to a few years, depending on the specifics of the case. However, by understanding the process, working closely with your lawyer, and being prepared, you can help ensure that your case moves as efficiently as possible. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more legal tips and information. If you have any question or if there's anything you want to me cover in future video, drop comment below. Thanks for watching and I'll be see in the next video.